The question on everyone's mind about PSVR 2, is it worth the money? Today I'm going to answer that in a bit of a different way. Right then, this is the Toyota GR86. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but a lot of fun. So I've noticed a couple of things. I'm going to go over like motion sickness, I'm going to go over fidelity, detail, but first things first, I just want to show you around this GR86. What the? So this is one of the coolest new features about it. Headset on, I can walk around the car and have a look. And one thing I've noticed in my videos is, well, it shakes quite a lot. And I want to show you. I kind of figured out why that is. Now, the PSVR, it likes perfect lighting and things like that. This is quite a dim room, so just for the sake of it, I'm going to turn it up. There we go. A little bit brighter. But you can see now my hair is like glistening. Your head does these micro adjustments all the time. And when you speak, move, it happens. It's pretty jarring sometimes. But just to be clear, in case you haven't used a VR headset before, that's a thing. It moves with your head. It's not actually jittering. It's moving to follow your head, which is good. You'd feel sick if it wasn't doing that. Right, so I got up because I want to show you this. You can do the same idea of walking around, but actually walking around. Now, I've got my area pretty limited because my office is quite small. I don't want to walk into something, but you can walk around the car as is, which is sick. Obviously, this mode is set for sitting in the car, but I'm gonna walk around the interior. And you got your shifter, you got your details. It's pretty cool. The scale feels right. Now, every time you want to change your position, you can see my other position was there. You do have to reset, and it kind of throws a wobbly, but press X, okay, seated, and that's it. It's done and back in, which is it's pretty quick. Right, let's jump in and begin talking about it. So I've been experiencing PSVR now for the past little bit, and there's some comments, there's some contradictory things people have been saying about the PSVR that I kind of said that I feel is the case. Now, first thing, I said it looks better in the VR than it does on the display that you're seeing. It depends how you're looking at it. Ultimately, visual, graphics, whatever, it's not as good. The headset, you can definitely see a lot more blurriness than you can on the screen. The edging that you see, that is something that is blurred in a way in the headset that makes it less obvious. You can kind of see on the edges of your screen right now some, as I say, so just some weirdness, some like pixelation, some lesser quality on the edges of the screen. That's not what you see in the headset. That's obviously technology to make it so that it can run a little bit better when you're wearing the headset, because to run something twice over at a high frame rate in a headset, it's a lot more it requires a lot more compute. But compared to the VR experiences I had in the past, now I have a HTC Vive. I had the first generation. I went with a higher resolution headset. On the current generation of VR headsets, I'm somewhere kind of towards the middle, towards the higher middle, and I went for the Oculus Quest 2, or the Meta Quest 2. And now the reason I went for that is the resolution was pretty damn high for what it is, and it works externally. That's one negative side about this. It doesn't work on PC, and you're kind of stuck with what you've got. You're playing Gran Turismo, and probably the only racing game that we will get on this headset. Let's be completely real. Well, maybe Gran Turismo 8. Now, something you can see that is definitely slow in the reflections is the window on this car in front of me here. There's a lot of corner cutting. The reflections frame rate is running slower than that of the actual gameplay. That's for sure. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. God, this thing really has no guts, does it? But yeah, I thought it would be a good track to show you. You can definitely see what's going on there. Yeah. Come on, big dog. Oh, goodbye. But it is so much fun. Now, I have played quite a lot of VR experiences before. I have played some of the early ones, like the Project Cars 2. I've played Assetto Corsa, obviously, recently with the Meta Quest 2. But every time I've played it, it's pretty obvious that I'm playing a game. Not that this is not obvious that I'm playing a game, but I've never felt a game where I actually feel like the need to, when I brake heavily, for example, I feel like my head told me I needed to lean, I needed to be careful. Like, I've genuinely never had that before, and I can't explain why. This is not world's leaps and bounds better than a lot of other VR experiences. It's very good, but I can't pinpoint as to why. I feel like this just makes more, it communicates with my head a little bit more. Now, they have said in the past that GT7 was built for PSVR 2, so they built it within it in mind, and you can definitely tell that. It doesn't feel like marketing rubbish. Okay, back at the GT Cafe, this is a car that I actually own, the Evo 10, maybe not the specific model, but something about the reflections of the paint and stuff are crazy to me. And something to note as well, if I stop talking, look how much smoother the movements are. And when I start talking again, you notice the shakes. That's because my face is moving when I'm talking, and that's one of the reasons that it gets a little bit shaky. So anyway, something you'll hear people talk about is the blurriness of a VR headset, and that is a thing that just comes with it. Your eyes are closer to the pixels, you'll see more imperfections, it just won't look as good as some of the ridiculously high-end stuff. It's out there. You can spend thousands on a VR headset to get higher resolution. That's the most important factor, and that's why the Meta Quest was my PC headset of choice. I could have gone for the Quest Pro, but it was too much money and too little battery. The fact that this thing is, what, £550, so it's like $600 for this headset, it's a steep ask, and that's why people are like, is it really worth it? But this is where the ask is a little bit different, because I have bought this wheel rig. Now, for those of you that do know, this rig costs thousands of pounds, and I think anyone with a sim rig of any kind has spent a lot of money, hundreds to thousands of pounds on a rig like this. Some people will have triple screens. I went for the single because I'm just generally filming content from this, but my wheel, well, it's a direct drive wheel. It's very pricey, but we know when you spend a heck of a lot more money on something like this, you get a lot more feel of the cars, and that's what everyone's always chasing, a realistic, more realistic feel of how a car is. So having a direct drive wheel, having this VR headset, having a sim rig, a cockpit to sit in, and of course one day maybe a motion rig, but I'm not that rich. There's always a split in me that's like, should I use a car that I actually own to see if it's more real now that I've got VR, or should I use something that I don't have? So this is a mixture. This is a mixture of the two. It's a car I do own. In brown leather, for God's sake, and it sounds really accurate. Alrighty, LC 500 time, and I actually just drove the car today. Of course, it's on the wrong side, but that's absolutely fine. We're in the UK. Definitely doesn't feel like this weather right now, but nonetheless, let's experience it. So the scale of this car, I'm gonna say is a little bit off. I should be sitting more up. I don't obviously have the wheel adjustment and things like that to make it exactly accurate, but the scale is slightly off. I don't think it's massively, but I almost feel like I may be a bit too big for this car. But anyway, something you'll notice, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I'm a little bit better at judging the sense of speed. Now, the sense of speed is not fantastic, and there's obviously a lot of old blokes that constantly comment, oh, well, you're playing Need for Speed and that's just over the top. I don't know why every bloke's a northerner, but yes, Need for Speed exaggerates sense of speed, but 100, it depends on the car you're in, but generally, if you're in a hatchback going 100 miles an hour, you should feel like you're going 300. That's just how it works. A smaller car feels like you're going faster than you actually are. That's why MX-5s and everything like that are so popular, even though they are slow as crap. At least standard. I don't want to sit here and say that, but wait, does it have the limiter? Because I genuinely forget. I don't drive this car very often in Gran Turismo. I don't know if it has it. Maybe in the first gear. Yeah, not quite the LC limiter. But yes, this hugely improves the sense of speed and almost that fear that if you don't treat the car with respect. I almost felt that sun. I feel like I'm just talking marketing bollocks, but I swear I'm not. Come on, Shelby. Come on, Shelby. Whoa. You can judge the space between points a lot easier. Now, a lot of people have said that you can't really read the markers, so nothing's super clear, but I've not got great eyesight anyway. So in real life, I probably won't be able to read those either unless I have my glasses on, but I'm one of those people that refuses to put my glasses on unless I really can't read properly. which at this point in the game, I would probably put my glasses on, but that's one advantage, is that my near sight is perfect. So this is livable for me. Something worth whoa talking about is motion sickness. Now, a lot of people are asking about motion sickness. That's a big worry, that people are gonna, you know, put the headset on, go for a drive, and absolutely just, yeah, motion sick everywhere. Now, I actually suffer from quite aggressive motion sickness, to be honest, and I don't go on many like roller coasters. I don't really do anything that would push me. Go-karting is something that I can do it, but I will feel sick in about, let's be generous, in about 30 minutes. I will be done. Even a race car throwing me around, 30 minutes, I am done. Finito. If I'm driving, absolutely fine, no problem, unless I'm driving, like, again, race car mode on a track. Stupidness. But putting my foot down, being like jolty, I'm absolutely fine. Anyway, I suffer from motion sickness, probably because I didn't grow up in cars. I didn't have a car. My mum didn't have a car. My first ownership of a car was like 20 something years old. Anyway, I don't get motion sick from this that often. I don't want to say it doesn't happen, because it definitely does. The rally stage that we did on the previous video, that made me feel sick. Watching back my jittery videos from this headset makes me feel a little bit sick. However, in the headset itself, I'm absolutely fine, unless, again, I'm in like rally or something, because that's the whole car's just shaking. And there we go, the replay. The interior looks terrible when it does the exterior view like that. It looks awful. Yeah, not a fan. Anyway, the point I was making with all this gear, I even have the DualSense Edge controller. It's an endless pit, and it will eat you up. Buying all this tech specifically for sim racing, or just racing in general, because I'm not really much of a sim racer. As I say, you can spend so much money on all this stuff. But as someone that does already have a wheel setup, and I'm pretty sure anyone out there that's serious about buying a wheel setup has spent at least a few £100 on a wheel, and then bought pedals, and you've spent 500, 600, 700 to 1,000. Heck, you could have spent 20 grand on a sim rig if you wanted to do it all the way, or maybe multiple. If you have done that, then there's absolutely no question that you should get this. And if you're looking at it from a perspective of, should I get this before I get a wheel? I'm gonna say no. A wheel is gonna be better for you. You're not really gonna feel as sick, but you will still possibly get sick and sweaty. That's one thing that people don't think about when you go for a wheel. It is still possible to physically drain yourself, and even mentally drain yourself a little bit using a wheel. It's more difficult, but it's more involved, and it's another level to that realism. This is almost the connecting step between that and maybe a motion rig. I'm pretty content without having a motion rig, but this just makes me want to get one of those as well. For £500, €500, $600, it's a big ask, especially when you've got to hope that PlayStation support this long term and the developers support it long term. But when you consider resolution and quality of how this works out of the box, I didn't need to buy an upgrade for GT7. It's huge, like, it's incredible. I bought my HTC Vive for like, I think it was like £600 or something back in the day, and that's without getting extra kind of positionary pieces. My headset doesn't vibrate. It has about 4 cables coming from it, and they're thick as well. It has the band over the top that makes my hair look stupid. There's so many different things that this just does better. Again, it's more so that it's newer, but for the price, they're clearly making a decent loss. It's not the sharpest on the market, but again, it's £500. If you're looking for sharper, you won't find it for anywhere near. You're looking at the £3,000, £6,000 headsets that exist that no one buys because they're just stupid. This is getting us closer to a more consumer level of VR, and again, I'm always for that. Something you will always have to do is clear the lens, basically get the smudges off it. Oh my god, I'm not even mad that you're interrupting me. Keep doing it. Very epic. So Murcielago converted to a kind of race car, sounding incredible. My absolute dream car that will cost me what, 200k nowadays? Yeah. Oh, now this is weird. That wheel feels huge. Huge wheel. We've got, oh, it's an automatic? Are you joking me? Or at least it's paddles. I don't know if it's an auto. I think they had one with a clutch, didn't they? Wait, it does, yeah. I think it's got the clutch. I can't tell. Either way, another note is that the reason this is somewhat better as well, again, I can see quite significant jaggies over there. But again, these are the high quality rooms just for demonstration purposes. HDR makes all the difference because some areas that you see on the screen now, because I'm not filming in HDR, is just fully black. You can't tell the detail. I can see a lot more different shades of colors is what HDR generally does. And the screens are also OLED, which means black can be black. We discussed this a lot, but pixels can basically turn off and be the deepest black possible, but also they're not right next to it. But if you are having some issues with some blurriness, you have to center the headset pretty perfectly. And I think the headband does a good job at resting it in the right position so that you can get that. It does mean when you're driving, sometimes the adjustment goes off slightly and it becomes a bit blurry. But the headsets I have used, this is nowhere near as bad as some of them. Man, I need a supercar. Oh, this is a very dangerous game I'm playing. But one tip to make sure is tighten the headset more than you think. And obviously don't lean on the cable. Right now it's going down my back because that's kind of where it leads to. Put it to the side and you'll get more of a, you won't lean on it and pull the headset kind of back and forth. You can also adjust the front of the headset here, which to be honest, any level would be fine to me, but too close and it's gonna sit on my face. What she said. But that's kind of annoying in that if you're the type with dry skin, well, you usually put a bunch of oils on your face to make sure that your face isn't so dry, which then gets on the lens. And if you don't have dry skin, you have oily skin, which means you're gonna smudge them and then too close and you're gonna get them. It's gonna ruin the visual experience. Anyone with glasses understands. It's that issue, but you're literally rubbing your face with your glasses. Right, let's buy some intermediate wet tires first, because we are playing the Nürburgring in the rain. In my Murcielago, which I'm gonna try and use my gated, oh my God, my gated shifter for, because that is the experience. Now, I'm shifting on the wrong side, which is always a little bit weird, but that's absolutely fine. Now, what I want to say is I played the original PSVR, and I think I kind of stopped using that pretty darn quickly. Why are you indicating? You actually didn't... Oh, you're telling me to pass you? What? Oh, my... Hang on. Let me go. Let me go. Oh, my God. That is so cool. And the sound. Oh. This is worlds better than the original. And as I say, it's... Once you're in the action, you're really not thinking about, oh, that's not perfectly not blurry. I can see where I need to go, especially with these markers. I feel like these markers were almost designed. Oh, that was a dip. Oh, I felt that. I'm still feeling the effects of that. And I generally have a bit of a crash pretty much every time I play Gran Turismo. Oh, God. It's all right. It's all right. Nürburgring. It's fine. You're allowed to go off on the Nürburgring. It's like acceptable. Oh. Oh, no. It's getting a little bit wet here, isn't it? I was expecting light rain. I put intermediates on. I feel the dips, but it gives me another level of confidence that I don't really normally get. I say confidence. It gives me a better judgment of speed, a better judgment of positioning, which all in all makes me, I don't want to say a better driver, but I feel like I'm genuinely more intentional, I guess I would say. I'm expecting it to scream a little bit more. That rain is horrendous. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on. Nice and steady. Nice and steady. Yep, got a little bit of traction. I think what I would suggest is a wheel should definitely come first before your headset. But if you've already got that, you've got GT7, you've got a PS5, you need to jump onto this. I've had, outside of Gran Turismo, I've had some pretty good experiences. I was playing a little bit of Village, which is not my type of game. I'm terrified. But it makes me want to try quite a few more experiences. It reminds me almost of the days where you would get an iToy home and you want to play everything. Sony has to have one of those like gimmicky things that just you hold on to. Oh man, oh, headset shaking, Murcielago damaged. She's a monster. See if I can get this right. I'm gonna understeer. Yeah. See, I knew that. I could feel it. Come on. I need to be less aggressive, but I don't want to. I've never felt like I needed to bob and weave this much. You feel so many dips. Your head wants you to move, but you don't. Oh no, oh no. I have just lost all grip. Why did I think these tires would be fine? It's all gone. Oh no. Rain just doesn't get like this. I don't care what you say. This is not real. Rain like this does not happen. Oh, I didn't change my... I bought the tires. It means I want to put them on. Okay, look how wet the road is in the rear view. Oh my God. Yeah, well, that would explain it, wouldn't it? I'm not on my intermediates at all. It's like playing Forza Motorsport 5. Oh, no, go away. Go away. You're not... Oh, help. No. No. I was gonna say it's a little bit better here. Oh. Contract. There we go. See, keeping it real, that's actually the first time that that's happened mid me driving. Come on, guys. Just... Yeah, I'm gonna try and pass you, but... Ooh. This is unfair. Ooh, look at the grass details. Oh, man, I was hoping to blast down here. But... it's gonna be a slow crawl. Goodbye. I'm gonna build it up. If I, Ooh! Ooh! Murcielago on ice! Ooh! No! More traction! More traction! It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Oh, and you're bloody none, yeah. You absolute asses. Why do you do this to me? I hate you so much. It's drier on this side. He says. Come on, come on, come on. Move. I don't like you. Eat barrier. Move. Get out the way. Let's go. Power down, power down, power down, power down. Yes. Get in the bin. And we got our 4-star reward. What a machine. Love it so much. I can't believe I put the tires on. Like, I know for sure that I hyper fixate on something like this if I was unsure to buy it, because it's a lot of money. It's a big ask. If you have everything else, though, this should surely be at the top of your list. I don't think it makes sense to go, oh yeah, I'm gonna go motion rig, because, you know, these games don't generally support the motion rate. At least I don't think this one does. If it does, it's kind of like a weird, not exactly 100% as it would be on like a PC sim side of thing. But again, for 500 quid to make you feel like you should be moving and you feel more of the car, it makes sense. I'm very much looking forward to driving a whole bunch of cars again and just experiencing them that little bit better. Gran Turismo does a really good job of making a car feel like it should feel, especially like the Skyline. I say the Skyline is really good, but it has the Rebel Steer Hikus feel a little bit more. Like, it feels different to mine. But then I drive something like the LC, I put my power in it, but it feels super similar. I know the RCF definitely does, and the Supra definitely does too. Anyway, hopefully that helped some of you guys if you're trying to make the decision. If you want to know more about the headset, well, I'll put a video here. It's also a GT7, and it's pretty cool. Smash like, subscribe, and yeah, pants out. Peace.